اگه قصاب من سرما کنه پوست جدا هرگز نگردم.
When I was the kid, when I was born, I had the spirituality, I think. I felt it, and my mom always said that I was somewhere from India. I was vegetarian. I couldn't hurt a tree or a leaf or a flower, and insects were very important. So I wouldn't let anybody hurt insects or anything.
You had a connection with India.
With India, yes.
That's crazy.
She said like I was from some tribe because I was dancing when I was a kid and singing some Indian songs. And now I'm trying to come back to that place. Yeah. Because when I was a kid, I had the right vision and the right feel for life. But then we get so caught up with life, and we go off the road and we make wrong decisions or wrong turns. But I think when we were kids,
more pure.
It's a pure state, and that's where I went back.
India is a land of gods, a land of gurus and swamis and guides. India is a land for seekers. India welcomes everyone.
I think it's important to have I don't know what you call them,
Angel.
No, they're in Tibet you have not coaches, but
like a life coach, no.
I forgot the name for them.
So guru,
mentor,
yeah.
And in the Western culture, we don't have mentors.
Yeah.
And that's why my certain time of life was off. So I didn't have any mentoring.
Exactly, yeah.
Nobody told me, painkillers is bad, or cocaine will lead to something. I always thought, that makes me happy. I should take it, that kills the pain. I shouldn't feel pain. So people end up making the same mistakes over and over as for generations. Or you can have a mentor who lives through that life and just tells you no,
that's the right path.
You still have to listen to yourself, of course.
Mah عاشقم من بر همه عالم که همه عالم از او. عاشقم من بر همه عالم که همه عالم از او. شررم شررم
I believed India was something from childhood, was something from the past or the future. I don't know. I came here before for only a day or 2 days, and it changed my life. Like it changed my life that I stopped drinking, I stopped taking drugs. There was a big switch towards light, towards good. And at the same time, India almost killed me. But it was nature that
Again.
that kind of in a hushed way showed me, because I got like bitten by something in India and I almost died, like I got infected. But it was nature showing me in a hushed way that you have to correct your ways. So before coming here, I was scared, because India could, the nature or India could be very, can do it in a harsh way, or you can do it in a nice way.
credo buia, 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 buia. Ma le cose credo buiam che dopo io fodori. Ma le cose credo buiam che dopo io fodori.
I was intrigued with your energy. I didn't know you when we met, but I felt that you may not necessarily believe in God or gods, but there is some strong belief in everything you do in your life. Like you believe in something. I don't know what that is.
No, for sure. I actually believe in everything in a way.
Yeah.
I believe in Buddhism. I believe in Christianity. I believe in Jesus. I believe in universe, and I do believe in God. I see all of it. Like when I do pray. I don't know. But I pray to all of them.
Yeah,
I don't pray to. I don't choose one particular thing. I take all good or all holy things or anything that represents something good. I kind of believe in that. I think age 14 maybe, that's where I stopped believing. I lived a life in a certain way, and at age 14 I went off the road. Like I stopped being spiritual. I stopped praying. I don't know, I became cold. I didn't cry for like many years. Just I went like really a bit off. Yeah, and then maybe age 24, 25, I started to come back to that. But it's a pure choice. It was a pure choice. Do I want to keep going till the end with that dark side, the bad side?
Yeah.
Or do I want to find a way? And it was a choice. It's like a pure unconscious choice or conscious choice, which you don't know why you're making it. Yeah, you just think, oh, do I go good or bad? Because it's so much fun to be bad. It's like, and it's much easier. It's easier to have fun, to be bad. It's like to destroy things. It's more fun.
In a way, it's like a phoenix. Yeah, you have to destroy everything to build again. Yes, and in a way, I was hoping that I don't have to do that.
Wow.
But in a way, yes, to build it from scratch and to live it different.
That's fascinating because there's so many people who may want to do that. How do you do that? How do you destroy Sergei and then?
I mean, destruction happens. It's the most fun.
Sorry?
The most fun is destruction because the hardest part is to build it.
Yeah.
And when you build it to the level that you think it's good, destruction part is the fun part, and it's the quickest. You can do it in a week or in a day.
Just light it up.
Yes. So that part is actually the most fun. Yeah, I believe in karma. So yeah, you serve in your karma, or you got good life because your previous lives or ancestors did something good.
Yeah.
So I believe in the repeat for sure.
And so then, therefore, do you fear what you do in this lifetime, or?
I kind of not fear. I can't say that I'm feared, but I definitely want to do good. Like I want to do as good as I can.
I'm not going to ask you to find that, Sergei. I'm not going to. No, well, what I meant was like if you are conscious of a life beyond this one, do you do things subconsciously to ensure that the next life is going to be better than this one, or at least the same?
But I don't even think it's the same life can repeat. It's like it doesn't mean you have to be on this planet or you have to be a human. You know, you could be a different energy, you can be a different thing, or like I don't know, a star. You know, I believe everything has similar souls,
Yeah.
like a tree or a planet or a moon. So you don't have to be a human. But yeah, I definitely think about sometimes, would I want to be a human or something else? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because human is quite, I believe, quite primitive thing. It's not.
It's not. You're saying that humans are not an evolved species.
No, I don't think so.
They're not.
No, it's quite primitive and quite simple way of thinking.
Wow. And therefore, obviously, then you think about humans, right?
In general, I always
You're
see.
human.
I don't look. I never look small. I don't look in. I always see a planet, and I see it from that angle.
So you're like standing on top of the planet.
Sort of in space, not even standing, just floating around. But I always see a planet, and that's all my judgments come from seeing the planet from space.
And the planet is your home.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah, right now,
It is
yes,
your home.
but I don't feel
Attached.
I don't feel attached at all.
So what was your, like, the highest point, like the moment where you felt that you had excelled all your expectations as an artist? That one moment when you stood there, or that moment is still to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't feel that. Like, yes.
You haven't felt it.
No.
You should be.
I didn't feel like.
You've done your best already, right? In terms of performance, you've done your best, or it's yet to come?
No, I never. I'm always out of shape. Like, I'm never a bit. I'm always like on the verge of like, will I make it or will I not? It's always that goal.
So, you know, I was wanting to ask a simple question, that for you, ballet was a profession or passion? Or did it change over a period of time?
I think it changed.
Yeah? Initially, what it was?
Initially, I didn't even know what that was. You know.
probably first 2 years I was doing it. I
Yeah.
didn't even know why, what it looks like. You just repeating steps.
But
And
it came from you, right?
I just did my best because I came from gymnastics, and in gymnastics there was, you repeat the routine.
Yeah.
So I just did that. But only later I realized it was more like an art form. But yeah, sometimes I thought it's a job, mentioned dance. Sometimes I thought, I don't know, I love doing it. Sometimes it's just a different periods of time.
Definitely check out our
अब हम उड़ान के लिए तैयार हैं कृपया टेक ऑफ और लैंडिंग
In school, I think school system is a little bit,
Yeah.
it's a little bit too strict and too. Ballet school is about telling you what to do and you just do it.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, how do you think you should do it,
Yeah.
or what's what do you feel inside? Only when I did the private lessons outside the school, then it was more like about, oh, do a pirouette, like there's an open window and lights going through it, and feel the light, and I don't know, feel the grass on. Feel like it's a field of flowers and you're jumping over the flowers. So only when I did this private lesson, teachers would talk like that, but not in school. In school it was like, and the boring music, and it makes you like hate what you do, and it's like so strict. We weren't allowed to go to the toilet.
But that's why you were naughty. You were messing around in the school. That's why. That was the other.
I mean, you have to be, because you
release.
weren't allowed to smile in class. You weren't allowed to laugh.
Gemime çektim yere.
For sure, people don't like to change things,
Yeah.
but the life is about change. Life is in constant change.
Sure. Right.
So there is, if it's still,
Yeah.
like we spoke
Yeah.
before, it dies. And ballet so far been like Romeo and Juliet, or
Yeah.
it's like they lived 300 years ago. It's like people don't, it's like they don't. I mean, it's beautiful, but like it's hard to relate to that now, which in my opinion doesn't work in an existing world anymore, because it's not relevant. You have to create the stories that people can relate to. You have to use media, use TV, cinema. But ballet never went out of this elitist group. And people with wealth and power, they're very smart. And they go there because they get almost enlightened when seeing the show. It's spiritual.
They kept it.
They kept
to
it to
themselves.
themselves, for sure. And
Yeah.
that's why when revolutions happened, people went to the theater, because that's where
The release came.
the I don't know, the wealth, the elite were, because they're smart. They're not stupid people, so they still want to keep it to themselves. So there's a fight. They wouldn't want to open it, of course, but you have to,
Şairinden öteye giderim yali yali giderim yali yali giderim yali. Sırtımdaki sepetinden
And that's my strategy. I'm going with existing. I'm going with an existing system. So I'm going still with elitist.
Yeah.
I'm still performing for a lot of
The purist.
purists
And the
because I
popular.
need to get financial support
Yeah.
to be able to show work.
You don't mix words, do you? I mean, you're a strange person. At one side, you're very true, and then you're also manipulative, but you're manipulative in a good way. And then you tell the person, hey, I'm going to manipulate you, and I hope it's okay because it's for a good reason. Like that.
No, but
You say that.
and I believe in telling the truth.
در سرم از عشق این سودا خوشه در دلم از شوق این قوقا چه خوشه گر نباشد هر عالم گو مباش تو تمامی با تو تنها lay 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 lay
What I understood from your energies is that you're not very fond of humans. Is that true? Like generally? Or?
Humans are the least thing I care about, but I do care about children.
Yeah.
That's the purest form. But children is like animals, like insect is. It's a pure thing.
Yeah.
It's like unprotected, pure energy.
Version on thoughts.
But when we grow up, we become something else.
Sergei, The children have something they want to give to you.
I don't know. I like India because people and nature kind of mold it. It's like I don't see poor people, I see free people. Who, and if I could have a choice, I would live in the poor areas where everybody's together, you know, cooking, talking. I don't know, together with animals. It's like it's amazing because that. It's real and you feel earth, you feel grounded.
در دلم از شوقت این قوقا چه خوشم گر نباشد هر دولم او مباش تو تمامی با تو
But as a performer, when you walk in an arena or whatever the audience is, do you care to connect with the audience? When you
For
walk
sure,
in?
it's all about that.
It is, right?
Because I'm performing for audience. That's the only thing important. I'm not there because I love, you know, wiggling my legs. It's the energy, and I don't believe in how you move. It's not about, because sometimes I take it to nothing. I'm just standing there.
Nothing. It's all blank.
And that's the strongest. Because it's not about movement. It's not about, it's about energy. It's like you're like a shaman in a way. And
Shaman?
It's shaman, you know, like a shaman in tribes.
Oh, okay.
Who, because I'm the exchanging an energy. And that's what people get in energy. They're not getting
It's not
anything. It's not the running around or jumping. It's like, okay, it is the
that you're throwing
energies that,
Wow.
and it doesn't matter what you do. but
once you're done with destruction, what's the new Sergei? What's the new Sergei's mission in life?
I don't know, I always have the biggest goal, and I know I will achieve it. It's unity of the world,
Okay.
because we have to be one to be able to go elsewhere.
So you use your art form.
Yeah, to make a world safer for a while until we go to different planets. So as a human species, because that's what's interesting, is to colonize, travel somewhere, not not to focus on the
I just
little
want to say
things.
one thing, I want to interrupt you. Remember the chant we missed yesterday? Because
Yes.
we had to rush here to sit
Yeah.
with Lord Shiva at sunset. That's the chant. It just started.
Oh, really?
That's Hanuman Chalisa.
See, you didn't miss it. That's it.
So that is the monkey
Sure.
god, the god
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
strength. Remember the one? So this is the chant we missed.
Okay,
And
wow.
it just started being played.
सरस्वती विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः
Think you're going to try and connect the whole world and maybe spread some more love and sort of a unity.
It's about realizing that, like I realized, that there's no difference between human beings. It's like, doesn't matter if you're a politician or a normal person or a high-skilled worker or a director. It's like, it doesn't matter, like we're just human beings trying to do our best. And that realization is, because we can change the world in one day.
Yep.
But that mindset comes in a long time. It came to me after years and years of travel and meeting people. There's nothing you have to fear about.
I'm sure something shocked you. Something, poof. What the fuck is this?
No, what shocked me, how much I didn't bother to see dead people.
Yeah.
It was like, but when I was a kid, I was never bothered by death, and I loved graveyards. I thought that was the most peaceful place. And when like one of my relatives died, it was not like a shock or a bad feeling. I was like, okay, that's actually a good feeling about it. It didn't. So about death, but it was shocking to see a dead body, and it's like not feeling nothing about it. Like it's bad and nothing bad.
The dead body actually, one was below you and one passed you right beside your face there.
Yeah, but I had a good feeling about it. Not, but very strong when we were inside the room.
نه دل مفتون دل بندی نه جان مدهوش دلخواهی کیم من آرزو گم کرده این آلام سرگردانم نه آرام نه دل مفتون دلبندی نه جان مدهوش دلخواهی کیم من آرزو گم کرده این آلام سرگردانم نه آرام گهی افتان و خیزان چون غباری در بیابانی گهی خاموش و حیران گهی خاموش و حیران چون نگاهی بر نظر نایی نه آرامی نه امیدی نه همدردی نه همراهی.
I see a lot of Shiva in you. You're crazy and very powerful. You have a deep soul. I see you as a reincarnation of Lord Shiva. Brother, you are truly special.
بی خویشم کنم در عشق شورانگیز تو بیگانه از خویشم کند سلطان درویشم کند در عشق شورانگیز تو سلطان درویشم کند بیگانه از خویشم کند 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 ای ساقی در عشق شورانگیز تو